Coming up next, we're going to talk with the musical artist who performed this.
Dear God, it's been hard. Yeah, but I know you're the only reason why I'm here right now. All I can do is trust in you. Whoa, all I can do, yeah, is trust in you. All I can do, ain't no way I can hold on this alone. Trust in you. Yeah, yeah. All I can thank you, Lord, is trust in you. Protecting me. So many people have let me down. Took my heart, shot it up, stumped it in the ground. Like I'm not.
And that's the music of True. Columbia, South Carolina native is a multi-talented artist who raps, sings, and produces his own music with a unique old school groove, with his core influences being what he calls 90s era hip hop with a soulful feeling. Well, listen, let me tell you that. That's not old school for me, but it's old school for you. True is an artist who follows the feeling of his music while remaining true to his standards. True hopes to make a meaningful impact with the culture of hip hop and music as a whole through music with a message. Thank you so much, True, for joining us. I appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's so funny. You're so soft-spoken. I would never think someone as soft-spoken as you would put together all of this music. Do you think that music for you was an outlet? Because are you shy?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay, you just soft-spoken.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't think that my voice was like that when I was
Oh,
little,
okay.
but somehow when I got older, it just
Wow,
switched
wow.
up on me.
Listen, what is your first memory of music?
Uh, my first memory of music, I would say, I remember standing outside on the front porch singing the Manhattan's "Shining Star" at
Wow.
nighttime. That's
What
my
now,
first
was this
memory.
something that your parents were listening to that had exposed you to?
No, the most music I heard growing up was usually gospel. Um, but when I got older, maybe around ninth grade or something like that, I wanted to learn more about music myself. And I guess I got into the more older stuff like the 70s and all of that. Because in hip hop, I would hear these old songs in there and I would go back and find out what that song was.
Right, right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, who and what influenced you? I know you said you like old school. You like old school hip hop. Obviously, the Manhattans. That's R&B and soul.
Right.
Specifically, who are some of the folks that influence you, and what kind of music?
As far as rap, my main influence would have to be Tupac,
Mm.
um, Ti. That's
Mm.
not Ti is not old school, but him, Ti, DMX, Goody Mob. Those I would say those are like my that's like my core influence right there.
Hmm.
Um, with the R&B, I would have to say Sam Cooke,
Mm.
R. Kelly, Bobby Womack,
Wow.
maybe Johnny Taylor. Cause all Sam Cooke, Bobby Womack, and Johnny Taylor, they're kind of intertwined a little
And
bit.
and I was gonna say that you are talking a lot about Southern soul. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I hear. And why? What do you think is the connection between you and the Southern soul influence? If you say you didn't get it listening to it, with your parents.
Um,
Somebody in somebody's cookout was listening to some Johnny Taylor.
I'm not
Because
really
that's showing enough
sure.
cookout music with a fish sandwich with mustard on it. So what?
Yeah, it is. I'm not really sure where that came from because I remember even growing up in church. Maybe that has something to do with it, but I know growing up in church, being younger, singing in the choir and stuff. I used to
kind of always be able to have that kind of old Southern sound in my singing,
Right, right, right,
but
right.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it growing up because I felt like I was playing around, like trying to be
Mm,
funny. But when I got older, I guess with the hip hop and the soul samples and all of that, it's something about that '90s music with that soul in it. It just hits me in a way other stuff don't.
yeah.
So I guess that just brought that out of me.
We're talking to singer-songwriter, Columbia, South Carolina native True about his music and his journey. So, what was your process? How did you go from being a lover of music, singing on the choir, to actually being an artist?
The first time I wrote or started trying to write songs, I would say when Soldier Boy came out with Crank That.
Really? Wow, wow, wow. Really?
um,
So it
yeah,
wasn't, yeah.
when he came out with that, for whatever reason, I wanted to try to make my own Crank That,
Mm,
and actually when he came out with that, that's what other people were doing because it was Crank That Batman, Crank That Superman, or Crank That Spider Man,
right,
SpongeBob, all
yeah,
this different stuff.
yeah.
So that's how I started, and then it just turned into making up my own stuff about my life, how I feel, um, and even with music, um, I've always had this thing where it's like rhythms I've never heard of before. I just have them in my head or
Hmm.
in my heart, I guess. So I would just make those rhythms up as I'm writing.
Wow. Well, let's hear a little bit of one of your songs, "Close to Dying." Closer to dying. You say you write about what what things that are on your mind, what you experience. Let's listen to a little bit of this, and we'll come back and talk to you more about it.
Yeah. Every day. Time is passing. Getting closer to dying. Before you know it, it's gonna be over. So you might as well live it. Hey, I remember being younger when I'd wonder, was I truly ever made to be something that seemed anything great? Was far from it, I had to stay down bad, never bubbling, struggling in my mind. Same ones that said they loved me, put me down. Fake friends set me up, trying to bring me down. If it was up to them, true wouldn't be alright. I do my best to stay through the rain, fighting hard every day. I live to see a change, making moves to improve my life daily, being true and trying to do right, baby. Hey, to me, life ain't a
Music from True, "Closer to Dying." Was that a situation where you really felt that? I mean, because it sounds like to me, just listening to the lyrics, it wasn't, and this is what I think, you tell me if I'm right or wrong, it wasn't a physical dying as much it was a career dying, because you talk about haters and stuff like that. Tell us about that song.
That song, I remember I wrote that when I was living with I think I was living with my grandma or
Mm.
my mom still then, but I wrote that song because I was just in a place where I had all these different things going on in my mind, and then life being a certain way, people I felt like was real and they ain't real, and dealing with that, trying to go up in life, and life seeming like it's staying
Pulling you down.
like this
Yeah,
or
yeah.
making me go back the other way. Um, as far as the dying, I mean, all of that together, kind of like what y'all touched on earlier about mental health,
Yeah, yeah.
depression and
It's
suicidal
real.
thoughts. That's what I was talking about with that.
Yeah, yeah. We're talking to a True. He's a singer-songwriter from Columbia, South Carolina. So, what is your songwriting process, True? Does the music come first? Do the words come first? Are you just totally inspired by something? Tell us about the songwriting process.
There's definitely all hint of inspiration first, but sometimes it is the words, and other times it's just the beat. Like a rhythm might come to me, and then I go, lay out the rhythm and the beat and everything, and then the words start coming. And sometimes words might come to me, and I got a whole song, and I have a flow of it, but I don't have a beat yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends.
Yeah, yeah. What do you write, sing, and rap about? Or do you have a theme, or is it anything?
If there was a overarching theme in all my music, it would just be authenticity.
Mm,
Um, just being open and honest and vulnerable in what I'm talking about, because that's why my name is True with my music. I want people to know, you know, if you don't get anything else from what you hear me talking about, that, I'm speaking the truth, whether it's about me or if I'm talking about something, I'm trying to only speak about something I actually have some knowledge about that I've seen myself, whether in my life or somebody else's life. Um, and just being true to myself, not
right.
getting caught up in people's opinions or society and the different stuff culture be pushing out to people to try to sway them one way, just remaining true to who I am.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you sing, you rap, you write. Do you play any instruments?
Not not like someone that's classically trained though, but I make up stuff on the piano, so that's how I make most of my beats. Like I'll just make up my own
Bang them out.
sound and then lay it out. And I taught myself how to play the drums a little bit, but I'm not. I'm nothing like somebody that's really been trained.
Yeah, no, but there are some people that are amazing musicians that aren't trained formally, but listen, anything you practice long enough, you get good at. So if you sit at the house and you got a drum set or piano and you just bang, 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 and if you're serious about it, it's gonna turn out sounding pretty good at some point. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, practice
yeah,
makes perfect.
yeah, yeah. So you released several songs. What are your long-term goals, True? Distribution? You want to sign with a record company? You want to tour? What do you want to do?
Um, I know I don't want to sign with a label because I want to. I believe the way things are now, there's not really a reason for me to do that unless I'm seeking a certain level of promotion or something like that. Because you can put out a song, you can promote it yourself with what is within your power and reach
Yeah,
people. So I don't want to do that, but I just hope to be at a place where I can keep putting out music that people, hear it, respect it, of course, like it and share it. That it actually speaks to things that I feel, at least in my experience, haven't really been spoken about or not really shown to
hmm,
younger people. Like it's okay to have flavor and be cool and be down and all of that, but that don't mean you gotta live a certain way or move a certain way just because, they or he or she say you should do this. Make sure it's actually in your best interest to do that.
right. Right.
Hmm.
Kay Spanberg says, great music, theme, authenticity. Hey, thank you, Kay, so much for joining us. Thanks for your comment. And please post and share this information out so we can get the message to the masses. We're talking to True. He is a Columbia, South Carolina based singer songwriter. So, are you performing anywhere that people can check you out? And how can they get your music? Is it for sale?
Yeah, my music's out on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. It should be anywhere that you find anybody else's music. um, as far as performing, it's been a minute. I've had a couple of things going on here and there. That's kind of been getting in the way of that, but I'm open to it. Still just getting some stuff together right now.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you can see his website. It's tru3music.com. We're checking out. This is the website right here, tru3music.com. That's how he spells true. How did you come up with that spelling of true? TRU3. I mean, if you look at it phonetically, it is true. I don't know about the three, but it is true. But so how did you come up with that to name yourself True and then spell it that way?
Well, I don't know if people still do this, but I know when I was coming up, kind of around high school, you would text things in a different way. And
Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I looked at that trying to figure out, I want to make a name that is unique.
Yeah,
it does reflect
it is.
me. And people that know me know I still text like that. So that's how I came up with that one.
Yeah. This is a Columbia, South Carolina native True. He's a singer-songwriter. You can check out his website right here. And we've been playing some of his music, and we're going to close with another one of his pieces, Deep in My Heart. Tell us about the song we're getting ready to play, True, Deep in My Heart.
This song is basically me expressing, the love or affection that I have for a female. And throughout the song, I'm basically saying to her, what may have happened to her before I came into the picture, and whatever shame and guilt and feelings of not being able to be deserving of the type of love I'm expressing in the song.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying to her that she is worth that. And, just letting her know if we walk this thing out in a certain way, we can, do it.
Right. All right. Well, we're going to check it out. You can see his official website right there on the screen, 2ru3music.com. And this is True. True, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for sharing your music and your message. And listen, good luck to you. God bless. I just believe God for whatever it is he has in store for you. I applaud you for stepping out on faith and doing your thing. And, you're talking about being true. We have to be true to our vision, true to our journey. And I'll tell you this is so very cliche-ish, but the old saying, what God has for you is for you. To me, that doesn't only mean that it's for you to do, it's for you to see. Oftentimes, I learned this when moving here to Columbia 20 years ago, I had an experience, and I won't go into it, but it helped me to understand that when God has a plan and a purpose for your life, you've got to listen to him, because there are going to be people around you that haven't heard from God. This is your relationship with Christ. This is what God has told you. And other people may not see it. They may not get it. They might understand it. They may not even like it. But you've got to keep your eyes focused on Christ, like a horse with blinders on. He will lead you and guide you. And the people around you, even though they may not be haters, they may love you, they may support you, but because God didn't tell them, you've got to focus on who God told. And in this instance, it was you. So I am believing God for your journey, and I wish you much luck and success. That's true, y'all. We're going to close out the interview with his song about the girl that he used to date, I'm assuming. And this is Deep in My Heart. Thanks, True. I appreciate you.
Thank you, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Check this out, Sean. I gotta tell you something. Oh, Baby, tell me, can you hear me? Hey, tell me, can you feel me? Baby girl, I did my best to be sincere, show my intentions clear, hoping you see it, dealing with me, there's no need to fear. Cautious and conversation, so I don't come off impatient. Appearing as one who loves to usual, leaving you scarred and naked. Baby, I'm honest and true, huh? Your conscience is smooth, huh? A brother whose mind is made to cherish you and not bruise. Internal paths where weakness in your heart can't be seen, but manifested through the tears exuding pain as they stream. If you feel me, then follow me to a place of connection where two can become one through honest love and affection. Those who struggle may test it, and others may come against it. Long as we know we got what's real, hand in hand we'll be stepping. My motive's to only show you that my word is my bond, and my only plan is to grow with you and never bring harm. If you've ever had a question about my life, where you are, shorty, just know that you're deep in my heart. You're deep in my heart. Deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart from True. Hey, don't forget to check out his website and support his music. I'm Tre Tailor. Listen, thank you so much for joining us today on Coping with COVID. Don't forget